Siberia, South Africa, and the Peruvian Amazon are just some of the wild and exotic parts of the world that the medicine hunter, Chris Kilham, has conquered in his quest to find unique botanicals. Today, he's going to take a break from his adventures and join us here on probably the least botanical island in the world, Manhattan, to share some of these amazing discoveries with us, and we welcome him here. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks so much, Rob. I'm glad to be here today.
So this is fascinating. You travel the world looking at plants that have them, healing powers of various sorts. How'd you get into this?
As a teenager, I started to read some articles and books on herbal medicine, and that really piqued my interest. And at the same time, I started to travel, and I realized at some point that I could probably combine the two interests of a love for herbal medicine, which is the #1 category of medicine in the world today, with my love for travel, and maybe eventually earn a living doing it. And it turned out to be so. That's the short version of the story.
Tell me, you talked about how this is the #1 section of medicine in the world, if you will. It's been used for centuries throughout the world. Where is it now in terms of Western medicine versus herbal medicine? Are people starting to accept it more in the West?
Well, yes, because the science on herbs is very, very good. I mean, many of our important drugs come from plants anyway. About 40% of our drugs either come from plants or are synthetic versions of compounds from plants. So there's been a long history of the use of plants as drugs. But also because the science on herbs is now very good with lots of human clinical studies, we can point to different herbs like St. John's wort, for example. We know without question it's every bit as good for depression as the antidepressant drugs now. So we can point to science, and that, I think, gives a lot of people more comfort.
All right, let's go through some of this stuff. I'm really looking forward to hearing about it. We'll start with something you found in Siberia.
Yes, Siberia is home to Rhodiola rosea, and Rhodiola rosea is a root that imparts a broad host of benefits, maybe more than any other plant that I know. Enhancing mental alertness. You've got some psychiatrists in New York, for example, using it to treat depression with very good results. It improves energy and stamina, so if you have an intense schedule, you'll notice that you feel more energetic throughout the day, but without caffeine. It's a different kind of energy. It seems to be more sustained. It improves immune function. It does a lot of things very well. And going to Siberia, I thought, I'd read that Siberia wasn't a particularly wonderful place. Right. It was a fabulous place, friendly and beautiful. So both the research into Rhodiola rosea and the time there were big surprises for me.
And these are all things people can find if they've got an herbal store
that's
or an
why
store
that's why
around
we
them.
have some products here, so you can see that these are translated into products you can find on the shelves of Whole Foods or GNC or whatever.
Let's go down to Peru now, and you found some stuff both in the highlands of Peru and also, of course, in the Amazon River basin there.
Yes. In the highlands, there's a staple food called maca. It's actually in the same family as the mustard family. Also very good for energy and endurance, but more importantly, used for sexual and reproductive health. Men and women with low sex drive eat maca, and that radically improves in a surprising way, very quickly.
Wow.
Also, it's been used by the Peruvian people to enhance fertility with very good results. Maca, like rhodiola, is something that if you eat it, if you take it, you feel very good. No negative side effects, no negative interactions with drugs of any kind, just more vitality overall, which I think a lot of people want.
And then also cat's claw.
Cat's claw, I'm sorry I don't have the raw herb here, but this Saventaro product is an example of how that gets translated into a modern product. Cat's claw is the anti-inflammatory that all of the drug companies are looking for. They just can't do anything with it because they can't patent it. But if you've got arthritis, in fact, in some European countries, cat's claw is a prescription item for arthritis, both osteo and rheumatoid. Very good for relieving pain, also improving immune function, bringing low function up, bringing high function down. These, I guess what I want people to know is these are real medicines.
Yes.
They work, and they work well, and there's good human clinical science on their effectiveness.
Tell us about South Africa.
The South African plant is this umka.
Okay.
The San tribal people of South Africa discovered this particular plant, which they call umka. And I have to say it's the best thing I've ever used for relieving a cold.
Kind of like echinacea, but even better.
Even better than echinacea. I can't afford to have a cold. I travel too much.
Right,
I've got too much going on. When I start to feel a cold coming on, which maybe happens once a year or so, I immediately take this stuff, bango, the symptoms go away. I like that kind of quick relief. So it's really on a par with the cold medicines that you would maybe get in a drugstore.
All right, so what do we have here?
We have a drink called Vive that is a powdered drink made out of Schizandra berry from China. Schizandra.
It's fun to say.
Oh, yeah, it kind of sounds like the Gomer Pyle Shazam thing, you know.
And what does this do for us?
Well, take a sip. Give it a try.
Don't mind if I do. Not bad.
No, no, no. It isn't some nasty tasting herbal thing that you go, oh my goodness, why me? Schizandra berry, we know, enhances mental alertness. It's very good for liver health. Also enhances energy and endurance enough that it's widely used by athletes in Northern Asia.
Interesting.
And the good news about it is that unlike some other herbs, it actually tastes really good.
I have to say I enjoyed that, and I'm feeling more focused already.
There you go.
We're almost out of time here, so let's just hit this last one here.
Cranberry, you know, I live in Massachusetts where we have some of the largest cranberry bogs in the world. I like the fact that this cranberry product is certified organic because I think it's important not to be consuming pesticides. Cranberry helps to relieve urinary tract infections. Actually causes your body to get rid of the bacteria that cause that. Good human science on it. No negative side effects. You can do this, or you can drink really concentrated, unsweetened cranberry juice. Either way, but cranberry works. It's real medicine, and it's food. And
again, I want to point out, as you said, these things have all been subject to tests and trials, and they're shown to work the way that the way that we're talking about. I don't want to ask you how you tested the libido drug, but we'll talk about that offline. But anyway, this was great stuff. Thank you very much for joining us. Thanks for watching, and enjoy some medicine. I'm going to enjoy this juice right here. Thank you very much, Chris.
Let's do that.
All right.